Hello friends, welcome back to Learning Nails and Aesthetics. Today we have Model 1's unboxing and swatching. I have the nail dehydrator and primer, 2 different boxes of 6 different colors of gel polish, the base coat and top coat, a poly nail extension gel, as well as the extra goodies, which is my favorite part, and this nail polish as well, just because I liked it, so I added it because I can. Let's start here. If you don't like the crackling, sorry. If you do, hey, bonus. Model 1's brush instruction manual. Note: in order to prevent the brush bristles from being damaged and contaminated during transportation, there will be a small amount of sealing wax on the bristles of new brush. Before we do a good job of opening the brush, the specific steps are as follows. Before use, we do a good job of opening the brush. The specific steps are as follows. Gently loosen the bristles with your fingers for several times to make sure there is no excess residue. Soak the brush in alcohol or warm. It just says or warm for 3 minutes. I assume they mean warm water. Use a paper towel, a cotton pad to absorb excess water. Each subsequent use needs a touch-up. Take a small amount of primer or sealer on the palette and gently pat the positive and negative sides repeatedly. Cleaning the brush, pour the brush cleansing essence into crystal glass. Put the brush in and rinse it well. Gently dry the bristles with a paper towel or cotton pad. During application, please clean the brush with the brush cleaner before making a change to another color. Clean the brush and cover it with the cap to prevent dust after each use. It is better to store the brush with brush head down and without light exposure. Then on the back, it just has their contact information. Files. You can never have too many files. If they become contaminated, you just throw them away. Do not risk any contamination transfer. As you can see, it is 100 to 180. It says washable, disinfectable. Some people disagree with that. Use your own discretion, I guess. 100, 180. Super cute. And again, 100, 180. They are different, just a little. This one is more of a buffer, spongy. These are for shaping. Some nail tape for designs. I have never used this. And the cuticle pusher. I want to show you something specific about these. Let me gather my tools here. Where is it? Well, I do have a thicker one. Where is it? Okay, just leave it up to my motto because, you know, I'm oh so prepared. I believe I found it. Okay, I want to show you this. The end of these pushers are different. The thinner ones are good for strong, healthy nails. If you have an elderly client or someone who's on blood thinners, bruises easily, they're just overly sensitive, you want to use a thicker, you want to use a thicker one because it will not damage their nail. It won't hurt them as much, and the chances of bruising are less. With someone with an excessive condition, which I am not a doctor, I would not use these tools at all. Find a cuticle remover lotion. Let's see, is the one I use. Get this big old bottle up here. This one. Cuticle softener. It's much easier to remove that. You can also use this to help clean the nail plate. Ooh, it's leaking. Crap. Dang it. Okay, hang on a second. Oops. Okay, moving on. Base coat, top coat. These, some of these boxes did have, they were closed. None of them were shrink wrapped, but they did have the tab there. This is 15 ml. I do like these larger size bottles. These are both soak off, top coat, base coat. Oh. Polygel extension gel. Again, it did have the tape there. It was sealed closed. On the back, you see it has ingredients, directions, storage, warnings, and contact information. This is Hema free. Usage manual. I will not read it completely. I don't want to. But it does have complete directions. On the back, how to remove it. Tips, storage, and warnings. And of course, contact information. Let's see the thickness. It's not too hard to squeeze out, which can happen sometimes, but as you can see, it is not really moving. Gravity doesn't seem to have much of an effect on it, which is good. I do prefer a thicker product. That way I have more control over it, which is good sometimes, but if you're looking for something that's going to self-level, this is not the product. And let's see, this color is 0008. I like it better when they have names. It's much funner that way. And it may have a name. I just forgot and then failed to get that information before we started doing this. So we have a brush. I do like the caps. Always have a cap. Any brush. Unless you're just throwing it out after use. It does say Modelones right there. I love the cutesy little details like that. Do also like the, I guess it's a gunmetal look. Nail Dehydrator and primer. Ingredients, directions, storage, warnings, contact information. And as with all of the products, it has this Nail Dehydrator and primer set. Q&As, storage, warnings, contact information, ingredients, gel nail, poly, and poly gel, the steps for applying it with dip powder and acrylic powders, and some additional tips. Let me know if you've used these products, if you like them. I have gotten good reviews from my clients on the Modelones. This is a 1/2 ounce. Again, a larger size. I really like that. And you know, the nail primer and the dehydrator are both air dry products. So do not leave the lid unscrewed, even if you're setting it down for like a couple of seconds and, you know, going nail to nail to nail, that's fine. But do not leave the lid off. Helps avoid the evaporation as well as accidentally spilling it. Oh gosh, don't look at my nails. We put these back in the box and we will move on to swatching, the fun part. Nope, I didn't put the paper back. Okay, these, we are going to be putting these on these, which I got on Hema. Love them. This. Sorry, I'm just gonna clean up the area real quickly here, so I'm not knocking things over. Okay. Let me turn on my UV light. These, again, were sealed with the tape, not shrink wrapped. I think I prefer the shrink wrap, though. And with all these, we have the new eco-friendly package, 7 ml, same capacity. New bottles versus old bottles. They have downsized their packaging, although they still have the same quantity. Modelones. I do love the directions. Even if you get into the habit of just applying products that you're used to using, it's still a good idea to periodically browse the information, skim it quickly to make sure that no changes have been made. Q&As, why is my gel easy to peel off? Poor nail preparation, applied too thick of a coat. Gel attached to the skin and cuticles without applying base and top coat. Nails are not completely dry, clean, and oil-free before applying gel polish. How to avoid the peel-off problem. Clean your cuticle completely. File your nails sufficiently. Not only file the top of your nail, but also file every side of your nail. Make sure your nail is clean and 100% oil-free. Apply the base coat thinly. Thinner means stronger. Make sure the color, gel, and top coat you apply are completely dry. Why my gel is hard to dry or stays sticky. Check your nail lamp first. Apply a little gel on the paper and try to cure it. Please note the base coat will keep a little sticky. I'm just reading what they wrote. They will keep a little sticky after curing. It is a normal situation to help color gel adhere to fingernails better. Apply gel thinly. It's hard to dry if you apply gel too thick. Why does my top coat lose its shine and become dim quickly? Please make sure your top coat totally dries during curing. Otherwise, it will lose the shine quickly. What should I do if something in the kit is missing or defective? If you meet the problem like this, please don't hesitate to contact us. We will be there to offer the best support for you. How to avoid allergic reactions. Please do the skin test before using the gel. Stop using again if the allergic reaction happens. Please contact us directly and we will offer the refund to you. Why can't I achieve the advertised color? The advertised color shows the effect of applying 3 layers. We recommend applying 2 thin layers, but some people like to apply 1 layer for a sheer look or more than 2 layers for a solid color. This also depends on the shade you use. Tips. Manicure helpful tips to make your manicure last longer. We do not recommend doing all 10 fingers at once. The easiest way is to do 4 fingers, the other 4 fingers followed by both thumbs. Do not be tempted to touch your nails after curing. The product is still tacky and it allows each layer to stick to the next. The base coat could be dried fully because the stickiness after baking is more likely to make gel adhere to nails. Good nail preparation is one of the essential steps to keep your nails last longer. Okay, well, we know the people writing this, English is not their first language. Apply thin layers. Thinner is stronger. It's hard to dry and easy to peel off with thick coat. Roll the gel bottle between palms to get the best consistency before applying. Ensure to leave a tiny margin around the nail area and skin during application. For the best result, recommended using Model 1's base coat and top coat with color gel. Warnings: external use only. Avoid contact with eyes and mouth. Keep away from heat and flame. Keep out of reach of children. Not suitable for pregnancy and sensitive skin. Avoid prolonged contact with skin. If any redness or allergic reaction occurs, stop using the product. Storage: keep away from heat, flame, or sunlight. Keep tightly sealed. Store in a cool place. Then contact information, of course, Modelones.com. They have a Facebook, a YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and then email service@modelones.com. All right, let's move on to some fun. I will not read the paper out of the next box because we know it will be a duplicate. I forgot to tell you, they do have a manufacturing expiration dates and a lot number. That's important information. I've never had to use that information, but you do want it available should you have an issue. And again, like I said, same paperwork here, which we will not go through again. Keeping the box might be a good idea, or somehow number them, maybe. I don't really know exactly how it would be done, but I mean, if you throw this away that has the information on it, it's not on the bottle. So just as a precaution, it might be a good idea to keep a logbook of some kind. I don't really know exactly how I would work it out. I never really thought about it until I started making these videos where I noticed things like that. So maybe overthinking it, but I don't know. You might be able to get the information through the site that you ordered it from. I don't know. Let's see. I do love their bottles. Super cute. You can see the color here. Obviously, it's not directly through the bottle, or it would be bad. You know, you can't expose the polish itself to light. If you can see, it has their little logo on the brush handle there. Can you see it? I love little things like that. They just amuse me so much. So I also write the color number on the back of the nails as I go. So my secret code for Modelones is just MO. And then this number is 1555. So on the back, I would write MO 155. Woohoo, 5. It's a little difficult to write on these, so you can see my secret codes there. Now that's just in case I want to reorder that, which is a little overkill because, you know, is this gonna stray from the bottle? No, not necessarily. I do take it off when I'm using it, but if I have a client that really, really likes a color, I want to do everything I can to make sure that I have that color available for them. So overkill or not, we do like repeat clients, don't we? All right, so these are soak off polishes. Woohoo! That is pearly. I love it. I don't believe this to be a cat eye. I knew it when I purchased it. I should have looked it up to review it. That might be a touch thick. I do have to remind myself quite often not to be so heavy-handed with the gel. But let's nuke it. And move on to this green. Glittery. I love it. Like I said before, I'm not a big fan of the small bottles, but I do like a lot of colors. So this is a big difference. I believe this one to be 0.24 and this is 15. So, I mean, big difference. But of course, you use the base and top coat more frequently. Twice as often, actually. So this one is 2403. My marker, of course, it's purple, my absolute favorite. Oops. 2403. So we go MO, MO, 2403. Now this is a Sharpie, but some of it is going to come off on here, so I always check them again after. Now there is a lot of controversy about, do you shake the bottles? No, because that gives bubbles. Well, are these particles going to separate? Gel polish is much thicker, most brands anyway, than regular polish. In some of my gels, I have added a small metal bead, like they do for regular polish, to help mix up, especially with the cat eyes and the glitter and things. So you give it this, or just lay it on its side before you're ready to use it, and even upside down. But if you're going to rotate it, start with upside down first, because of course you don't want it all on the inside of the cap. Anyway, moving on, here we go. Now, if this was on a more solid color, like these tips are a bit translucent. Let me see. And with multiple layers, of course. This one, I have applied it fairly thin. We will nuke that and come back to it as I complete the other tips. Here we are back with this one, which is this one. Purple, yay! 2405. I was gonna have these all done before we started, but what the heck. Love the purples. And I'll probably say it every single time there is a purple. It is absolutely my favorite. Okay. Let's get the other one out and add, I just bumped it. Add another layer. I think we'll leave this one. Let's add this one again. The glitter in these is pretty fine. Large enough where it is reflective and noticeable, but not sticking up. None of it seems to be protruding from the surface or not laying down evenly. We'll do the old switcheroo here, the nuker. I do like to set the polish that's the bottle itself, when I'm doing these anyway. The one that's in the nuker, I set the bottle next to the nuker, because that way I can make sure I'm not mixing anything up. With this, of course, I mean, it's pretty obvious the different colors, but when I do things that are similar, sometimes it can be hard to tell. This is super pretty. Of course. Yikes. Just dropped it. Of course, nothing came out because it's a gel. Put this one back in. I am going to top coat these, but I think I am going to do it on the bottle so I can put this on here like so. It has the color on top as well as through the bottle here, but you can see in the bottle it does look darker, more like a silver. And I guess that is a little bit silvery. Maybe a thread gel. I should look that up. All right, make sure the lid is on. Now color 2407. So MO 2407. Oh, this one might be my new favorite. I really like the shape of these brushes. And they are round when you push down. It fits that shape perfectly, but we know that not everybody's nails are shaped like this. But when that's the case, you can put it on the nail Just don't press down as hard so the brushes don't spread out as much. And either pull straight down, or you can even go sideways to kind of square it off next to the cuticle. That just depends on what you prefer and what works best for you. Just some experimenting will be necessary to find out how you like to do it. Switching these out. Hopefully I don't confuse myself and embarrass myself in front of everyone. This one goes with this one, this one. Let's put these on. I have debated with myself whether I would swatch such small bottles, but I still have a bunch of Beetles small bottles that I have not swatched. Oops. I always end up doing it because it's fun. See the difference in the size there. Did I say what this one is? Half an ounce. And those are the 0.24, I believe. So this next color is still in the nuker. Let's move on to 2406. 2406. And I wonder too, when they sell these in sets, how they number them. That they could just have, you know, number 2406 is this color in this series. Hopefully they are not reusing those numbers, that now it's a totally different color because it's in a different series. I have not looked into that, but I've often pondered it. I tell myself I'm going to, but then I don't. Because, you know, I'm going to do it later. I'll do that later. Super pretty. Switching them. Might need a better system before I totally confuse myself. Again, which is why I wrote on the bottom, this one ending in 7. Yay! That paid off, huh? That is so amazing. It does look different to me than it does on the camera with the glare of the light. Very nice. Blue, purple. Alright, nuker. Maybe I should not get in over my head, but let's prep. Two 408. Last one in this package. Move it aside as it almost falls off. Okay. I keep forgetting where the camera is. This one, 2404. 2404. That one's really sloppy. I am going to apply another layer. Not on this one though. This one's good to go, I think, for sure. And that one was 2407. Again, model ones. This one does need another layer, 2406. I say it needs another layer because in comparison here, of course, if you like it like that, then it doesn't need another layer. Nice. I'm gonna nuke it up. Oop, 2406 in the nuker. Moving on to 2408. Amazing. Of course, I'm always gonna say that because it's purple. Do I have any other purple fans out there? Leave the purple heart in the chat so I know that you are as awesome as I am. That one had really good coverage. I don't believe it will need another layer. So we nuke it. Let's remove the 2406. Two 404. These brushes do hold a large amount of polish. I always have to scrape off a substantial amount so we're not over applying. Very sheer. Whoop. Here is this one, just 2408. Does not need another layer, I don't think. I mean, obviously you could add one if you like, but I believe the coverage is really good. Okay, so is it 2404 that's in the nuker? Yes. Next, switch this up because I like the larger one better. 2570. Nope, almost didn't write it. MO 2570. Nice thick brush. Large amounts of polish on that brush. And it's starting to run down the stick to the, it's gonna drip off. Very thick. back with 2404. Adding another layer. Maybe I need to X marks the spot on my table so I know the best spot to do these in. That, I believe, is going to need another coat after this. It is very sheer, which is good for if you're looking for that particular type of application. I don't think I've confused myself yet with rotating the bottles. That's quite impressive. 2070. Another purple. Love it. Two 070. MO 2070. Is this too tedious? Maybe I should be more prepared ahead of time. Or maybe just leave one or two for prepping and have all the other ones ready. That's probably a better idea. Love the way the brush spreads. This one is very pigmented. This is another single coat for sure. Absolutely beautiful. And I'm just in time to switch these out. These are obvious here, so I don't have to worry about mixing those out. I am going to apply one more coat to the 2404. This will be the third layer. And this one is the only one that turns on me as I'm painting on this strip. I don't know why. Defective magnet. Oh, that's much nicer, much nicer. Okay, close the lid. We should make up a little song of the process so we don't forget to close our lids. I'm going to not apply another layer to this one. It looks very nice. We have 4 left, and you probably don't need to watch me apply top coat. We could on a few because they're already really shiny. I don't know that it will necessarily add to the shine. And if you're up for it, we are already in, how far? We have 43, almost 44 minutes going on here. I don't know if you prefer, spilled it again. Well, knocked it over, none of it came out. If you prefer longer or shorter videos, I guess, you know, it varies by what people like. So MO Model 1s, 2567. 2567. Nope. Yep. I like this orangish. I wouldn't think that an orange nail polish would be something I would prefer, but I do. It's kind of pinky orangish. Kind of in between the coverage as far as the pigmentation. Some of the others were much lighter, some much darker. It's a very pretty color. Oops. Oops, I keep bumping the back of my nail lamp with the nails. Switching. I think 2070 is my favorite. Which one do you like? You tell me which one you like. Always check the lids on properly. 3 left. You still with me? 2, 5, 6, 9. 2, 5, 6, 9. Oops. Oh, nice. This color I find kind of odd when I look at it. Sometimes it looks more orange. Other times it looks more red. Now, I have red hair, so I don't normally wear colors like orange, red, yellow for clothes, you know, just in general, but that is very pretty. Does have a bit of a color shift, and again, you can't really see it. Maybe we need some outdoor shots. Some outdoor video. That ring light doesn't help sometimes. Alright, it takes me a moment to switch things. This one has a color shift as well. Let's try another layer. You see that color shift? It's not really showing up like it is in person, of course. Switch them in. Don't think this one needs another layer. Again, that's your preference. I wouldn't go any more than 3 with a color. Super, super thin every time, especially if you know that you're going to be applying more on top of it. You add a base coat and 1, 2, 3 layers of color and a top coat. That's going to be a super thick fingernail. And we know we don't want that. We don't want them looking bulky. 2, 5, 7, 1. They can lose their shape, especially the longer the nail is. You put several layers on a stiletto, and it's not a stiletto anymore, or a coffin shape, and it can really distort it, even just the slightest little bit. Marking my nail, MO 2571, 71. This one, tell me I messed it up already. 2569. Okay, so this one is in the nuker. All right, I'm right. Thank you. Wow. Why do I keep using the one that doesn't want to adhere properly? Because that's how I roll. All right, this yellow has an iridescent green color. There is a little defect here in the bottom, then plastic is sticking up. Can you see that green? Can you see it on this? A little bit. Well, it's a very minute color shift, but I'm sure I can see it better in person than you can on the camera, and I know I keep saying that, but you know, when it is what it is, it just is. And I don't like that saying, but I learn to understand it more and more every day. Maybe I should have worn gloves too. I've gotten polish on my fingers a few times and smeared it on the bottles. Let's see, where are we? Last one. Oops. $2566. You do want to be very careful with allowing any products to touch your skin or the client's skin, as you can develop allergies. Some people are more sensitive than others. You could maybe touch it one time and nothing happened for years, and then all of a sudden you have an allergy. You just never know what can happen. So be extra careful. MO2566. Now, I don't know if that's the case with regular air dry polish, because by the time I started doing this, air dry was, nobody wanted it anymore. I have yet to have a client ask for it, so I am not as familiar with it as gel polish. Love that, how it spreads. And of course, I am painting a little differently than I normally would on an actual client, because there's no skin. I don't have to avoid, their cuticles or their eponychium, nothing like that. Switch these out. There's this polish. Put this one over here. This one in. Let's try another layer. Ooh, big difference. Now with sheer polishes or like a jelly polish, you may be tempted to apply it thicker. Don't do it. Do not do it. So if one day you do, or you know someone that did, you can say, Carrie told you not to do that. Learning Nails and Aesthetics told you not to do that. Switch the bottles. What are we on? This one is, you can barely see that. These would be interesting to place over other polishes. Maybe you have a color that you just kind of like. Then maybe it's a bit too loud for you. You could place a less pigmented color over it. You can even thin it out further with a base coat or a top coat. Let's stick with base coat. Then you can also use this Kiara Sky gel polish thinner glass bottle. Very nice. Love it. You want to use teeny tiny amounts though, because it can make a big difference, you know, and you can't take it out after you've added it. So I would use caution. Maybe even mix it on a pallet or in a different container of some kind. This dropper comes with it, also glass. Well, it's glass. Love, love, love it. It's one of my new favorite things. And the yellow. I think that is some pretty good coverage. You could probably make it look darker, like, you know, you want to avoid layer after layer after layer, not only for thickness, but to make sure that things are cured properly. You could add a darker color underneath first, and that would make a difference. Doesn't necessarily have to be black, but you could use a gray or a charcoal color, and that would make it, and so you don't have to apply the yellow so much. I mean, that's still multiple layers, but it will make a difference. Do we have, is 2566 in the nuker? It is in the nuker. Does that mean we're done except for top coat? Let's see. Which one do I want to put a top coat on? How about this one and this one? And put this by the nuker. All right. The 2070, probably my favorite in this batch. Close to this one, the 2408. And the blue is always awesome too. It does have some purple color shift in it. Let's see if the top coat makes a difference. Of course, you know, if you're wiping off a sticky layer, it looks shiny now. But you wipe off that sticky layer and it's not shiny anymore. So here we have the top coat, and the matte actually with the glitter or a color shift can produce some very interesting results. It is fun just to experiment with these things, which I will do in future videos. I didn't expect this one to be this long. I am feeling a little bit of drag. That means I'm scraping off too much top coat. Oh, that's much better. Okay. Also, like I just did, do not lay the brush so flat that you're touching the plastic piece. You want it probably about, can you see that? Don't touch the plastic. About like this, probably. Yep, And if you want to scrape off polish, you want to use less of an angle. Like, probably about like this, and that will remove some. Can you see it on there? There was nothing on my, well, not literally nothing, obviously, but there was very little on there, and you can remove it like that. And the purple, yay! Do not forget to like, share, subscribe, and please comment, even if it's just a smiley face, a heart. Tell me where you're listening from. If you are in school, or if you're an esthetician or a nail tech. If you plan to be one in the future, if you just do it for fun, you like to continue learning. Knowledge is power. That is a saying for a reason. Let me nuke these. Maybe I should have, on these lighter pigmented ones, I could have painted maybe a third of the nail at a time. So maybe you could see the difference a little bit better. But there it is. It is very pastel, pink color shift in there with the blue, kind of a hint of lavender. I suppose as indicated there on the cap. You don't see a lot of that there on the logo though. Let's see, these are in the nuker and we're down to just a few more seconds. I have been talking about these for a while now that I planned on doing, and they would look really good over some of these lighter colors. Probably these, this one, maybe this one. Yeah, I should do that in another video. We are like an hour and a half here. I apologize. Don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe. Anything you would like to see in future videos. I am a licensed esthetician and nail tech. If you have any questions for me, that would be great as well. I appreciate you watching. Have a great day. Thanks. Bye.